Ready for art? Ready for art? Here's a little building I built. Okay. Here's the graduate student. You can make this as the exclamation part. You can make this as the hat of the student. He sees eye to eye. If I lift this up, there's two more of these dots underneath this hat. Here's the center. Here's the ring down at the bottom. We have one ring pulsating into the next. The echo chambers, right? The pliable area in case we have incoming of any sort from this area to this area. Remember, if there's incoming here and the world gets distorted, the world must get distorted here. Why? Because of the universe, the bounce and the sponge. Have you ever seen what happens inside a golf ball? By the time that ball is hit, they don't get to this till the end. This is solid piece, right? So when we come over here, I just want to show you the string effect. And you can see the string is right over here. You see the string is right over here. When I bring it down, right, you can see it coming on the outside of this post, almost looking like it's coming from the inside of these posts, right? Now, if I take this back and I bring it and I swing it in and swing it up, it'll look like it's on the inside of the post. So the even plane, okay, is showing equal. This one shows to the outside, down. 7 up shows to the inside. So if you're talking about down and up would be 7 up inside, down 8 to the outside, or the reversal. And remember, this is only a single chamber. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put the string over here. Okay. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about these angles and how we contort this. When we twist this, right, all these become angles, and those angles are special. The angle, right, let me see if I can get this done right. The angle, okay, this cutting angle gets to positions of 8, 11, 10, and 13. These two create 21. These two create 21. Okay, that's what they do. If I would go straight up here or straight down here, I would now get the area 7 or to the area 14. 7 and 14, 21, and it will spell gun. N and N, when you take an N and you chop it in half, right? You take an N, and I will chop this N in half right over here. Okay, I'll chop this N in half right over here. So I'm getting only this part. Now, what do I get on this part over here? I get this, but I'm chopping in half and I'm mirroring the same image. I'm going to mirror the same image and put them face to face. And N facing M cut in half. N cut in half, meaning they split the two sides, right? The passage O, if you want to know where elemental P comes from 8 over right over here, where N, L, L, M, N, O, P will actually say M, okay, M, and then there will be no O. It'll say M and M, okay? Instead of saying N, okay? The letter, once you cut this in half and mirror and flip it around, it becomes M and N. 26. So you now have 12, 26, 15. So when we see the numbers 3 and 6 separated, we have 8 in between, we have 386. Okay, the second day of the year, because the second day of the year is actually the year. Because when God divided, okay, he divided the light. Hold on a second. So God said, they talked about, I mean, I'm reading over here. If you really take a look at this, right? In the beginning, God created the universe when the earth was unformed, desolate, with the surface of the oceans and the depth. They only talk about the surface of the ocean depths. The surface of the ocean depths. They're not even talking about any space for earth. They're talking water over a wet ground. In the darkness, while the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters, God said, "Let there be light." So there was light. God saw that the light was beautiful. He separated the light from the darkness, calling the light day and the darkness night. That's the garbage truck. Anyway, so what I really wanted to show in this is how we separated. And this N, okay, instead of crossing over to a different area, is now joining an area in the center by splitting this, by not continuing the alphabet to the end and splitting it and reversing it over here. There is no end to the alphabet. O does not exist, right? The actual alphabet will say J, K, L, M, M, L, K. This is what the alphabet will say, more or less like saying, where's the milk? 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. 1 and 5 is at each end, JJ. Mars comes into the effect. Now they connect Mars by turning it around, right? Remember, when you cut something in half, right? When you're cutting something in half, you got to be cutting something in half. You'll be making one side flat automatically. You cut something in half, the other, you're not cutting around. You're cutting in half. He divided the day and the night. So he divided flat automatically, right? What are you, cutting round to an apple? God didn't say he's making rainbows. So that's what I want to say right now. I think there's a little bit more I want to add into this video. The zebra, the judge, the skunk, below zero, giraffe. Yellow and red come from the pool game. When you take the addition of the colors, it becomes 4. When you take the minus of the color, it becomes 2. 2 is blue. 4 is purple. We now begin with 11, with 10. And over here, we now begin with the purple. Okay, the purple 12. 10 and 12 is the beginning. Since 10, 0 equals 6, we begin with the cue ball. 16, 1 and 6, the half-life. 2 and 4, 9 lives of the cat, because everything is a representation of a whole. It's all of the ball. So it's 10. It's 2 areas, explanation. Forget about the point. We don't use the point. We now have 1, 3, and 4 that comes together. If we're additioning, that means no matter what we do, right, we automatically end up with 1, 3, 4, 8. Then we end up with 2 blue. The difference between these two is 2. The difference is 1. The difference is 4. 2 is now missing. 4 and 2. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 equals 8 and 6. The green world, ABC. In order to get 3, we need ABC 6. Now we have the green world. So it now becomes 1, 2, 6. So we start in the green world. The 6 is also the 14 world and brings in your DNA. So we divide the day with the night. Now we have to understand, here's the D for day. Here's the other D. We just divided it. Now all of a sudden we're going to draw a line from here over to here. But first we're extending these lines. If I tuck these lines in, if I tuck this line in and I tuck this line in, don't forget, he divided the day, area space. He divided it, was a flat surface. So I turn it this way, showing the D letter. Division showing the Y letter. 3 area spaces. 3 area spaces back to back. They talk about concave. This is within the light, and this is outside the light. Which way will the light reflect? So all of a sudden we have C, we have D, and we have A and Y. The minute I get to the next level, I automatically create double D, creating B. Once I bend this leg down and this leg in, this will create the N letter, showing above area right angle and 2 angled, what do you want to call it, triangles. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to bend this one in, and I'm going to bend this one up. Okay, so when I bend one in and bend one up, I now have the Z letter. Okay, I should have put maybe this line over here. Okay, instead of over here, because I through this line, through this line, through this line. Do I have the bottom of this D? Yes, I didn't make the D's the same size, so I made a little mistake. So now, when I turn it this way, it now becomes the Z instead of that. And now we talk about A to Z to A again. And sometimes Y, because it comes out inside the design, because it comes out through games people play. Let there be day. Well, man was made on day 6, 144 hours. But he wasn't made on the 144th hour. He was made on the 121st hour. Because the 120 hours is 5 days. On the 121st hour, 11 times 11, 121, 23 hours left in the day to finish creating man. 8,640 minutes. 551,840 seconds. 5 times this amount, or the half-life before man was created, equals to 25,920. 52 creation of earth, birth on earth. 5 times 5, 4 times 23. 2 and 3 is 5. Creation and birth in the leap year. 52 is earth, 1/4 of time, 1/4 of creation, 92. 51 year equals to Mars. Pluto equals to 84. 3 by 17, 4 by 21 equals to 38, the church. 17 minus 28 equals to the delta angle. To create this, I double up this, I get this. This has to be doubled up twice, 2 sides. 7 and 7 is 14. All right? 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. This gets doubled up twice, this once. 17 equals 368. 17 by 3 is 51. 17 by 4 is 68. 21 by 3 is 63. The 63 moons. 4 by 21 is 84. Communication through the moons of Jupiter. The half-life. 3/4 and half-life. Why? 6 goes into 8, 1 1/4 times, right? There's 4 2s, right? 3 here and 1 extra for the 8. 84, 2 times and 4 times. 48 is the word for sun. This is the cube. This is the creation of DC, the gateway inside of Mars. Math, science, thinking. Our question is, how do we get into the system, onto the other side? Well, we do it with spirituality. We stop the system. It's freaky because we have to give up almost everything. And the only reason we give up everything is because we give up nothing, but because what we're forced to do. I'm going to go collect your taxes. You work for me. I'm going to go collect your taxes. I don't work for you. If we all stop working for these people, forcing others to give up what they have, nobody can take anything away, and everything will move on. We must feed each other, but we do not have the system. In fact, the greatest system of the world doesn't even have the system. Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus. I think I have one more part over here. All you need is a few bucks, and we did that at Christmas, and God called on Rudolph, and he asked him about his bucks. The lobster to connect the claws to the ears of the electronics beneath the ocean. The golden sheep, the golden sleep. Frozen in hell, she is frozen. The wings are frozen. The doorways are frozen. The Arctic must melt, according to everything I keep seeing. We are in left wing corridor. Door means to sleep. Correcting the eye world, it also means gold. That is why it's the golden sleep of one wing, and it's always the left wing. The N split in half, the result is M. The punter, how many yards back does he go from the yardsticks before he's protected to kick that ball? Why not 10? Because the judge owns 10. He is the only one, black and white, owning 10. Raphael, since the 8 is black and all the numbers in pool are white, let's figure out this equation. Let's figure out the judge is black and white, okay, black and white, black and white. That's why they had the joke with the skunk in the newspaper. What's black and white and red all over? Black and white and red all over. So now he's read everybody, so we have to understand the red all over, okay, as a newspaper reading the black and white story. So what is the red of the story? It is the positive reality of that story. So we have to calculate these numbers to the colors and understanding the judge of black and white. Black and white is supposed to be what? Is it 1 and 6? What is the number to black and white? Well, the 8 ball, like I said, is black. But all the numbers are white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Forget about the rest of the balls because they also include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In fact, the 1 number is included okay, in 8 balls. That's right. 1, 10, 11. Oh, there's 9 number ones. 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 8 ones in the pool game. There's 12 and 2. There's 2 twos. There's 8 ones. There's 2 twos. 28 cycle of the moon. There's 2 threes. There's 2 fours. And there's 2 fives. 8, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Thank you for watching.